Ladies and gentlemen, this is Glen Carlson. This is KPI Pro Tip number 25. And last night we had KPI Pitch Fest in Brisbane. We had some awesome judges. We had Sam Elam from Media Maneuvers. We had Tina and Sky, two Australian Businesswomen of the Year winners. Also Tom Potter, who built Eagle Boys Pizza to $250 million in revenue. And taking the win, Phil Singos. Well done, mate. Absolutely crushed it. But it made me want to pause and reflect a little bit, because there's something about how to pitch an opportunity that's just really clear, and it's bedded into the capstone pitch. In the opportunity step, and this is the tip that I want to kind of drill into today. The first real key is to give the listener, give your audience some context as to the trends, not just a statistic in terms of something that's happening right now, like 22,000 people are getting divorced a year or something like that if you're in the divorce space. But I want to see where we've come from, where we are now, and where we're going. Give me some context as to the trends. So for example, when I'm talking about KPI, I'm constantly talking about how one of the huge, internet, social media, all that kind of stuff is a bit old news, but we're seeing now that that developing thought leadership content is providing an incredible competitive edge in the space, number one. Number two, every business has got to see themselves as a media business, taking that content, broadcasting it through channels. And number three, every business has got to see themselves as a technology business. We're seeing the trends around content, the trends around personal media, and the trends around the democratization of scalable technology for small business are absolutely changing the game. When I talk about those things, people kind of get the context then of needing to be a key person of influence. So I want you to think about, what are the trends driving your business, right? You want to think about it to the point where, because of those trends, you can't screw it up. It's happening. You're there. You're in the right time. You're in the right place. You're riding the wave. The next thing, you've got to let the listener know where you're at right now. I don't care if you're a micro business owner, it's just you haven't even hired a VA yet. You've got to explain the scenario, because people don't buy you where you're at. They buy where you're going. But they've got to have a bit of a setup and an understanding of where you're at right now. So we would be saying we're in 7 cities. We would say we've got enterprise faculty of 27. We would say we're in the UK, the USA, Singapore, and Australia. We would really bed that down. 25 staff, 10 time zones. We'd bed down, this is where we're at right now. But then, moving to the next stage, that's where you want to talk about the upshot. That's where you want to talk about the blue sky. That's where you want to talk about not the benefit of your product, right? That goes in the solution when you're talking about the component of what you do. But this is now talking about your business, where it's going long term. So you want to start tactics, strategy. So where are you going in the next 6 months? Where are you going in the next 2 years? Where are you going in the next 5 years? And you want to build that logical progression. So we're opening Perth Q1 next year. We're opening New York Q3. Right? New York's going to be a big deal, because there's over 150 cities in the US that have got a larger marketable population than Sydney. We're already in London, right? London's crushing it. So New York isn't that different to London. But the moment we get New York, that opens blue sky of over 150 cities. Now, we already do but between $1 million and $2 million revenue per city. So add up another 150 cities, and that's some serious upside blue sky potential. So I want you to think about those 3 things when you're thinking about your pitch. I want you to think about the trends. I want you that are driving your opportunity. I want you to be able to articulate where you're at now, and I want you to get so clear on the blue sky of where you're taking this. What is the upshot? And give me some tactics, give me some strategy, give me the tactical things. Don't just tell me that you're going to go from Sydney to global with nothing in between and you're a one-man band at the moment, right? You're going to lose credibility straight away. But tell me how you're going to go from a one-man band to a 3-man band, to an 8-man band, right? To expanding to Melbourne, to Sydney, to LA and then taking over the US or to Europe or whatever the case may be. Success is a staged event. Spell it out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is KPI Pro Tip number 25.